When I was 8 years old, I met her. She appeared in a flash of turquoise light in the backyard of my family's home on Earth. I was playing with a homemade telescope, scanning the stars, when a figure smaller than me but glowing like the moon stepped onto the grass. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, and her eyes were impossibly large, filled with curiosity and intelligence far beyond my comprehension. "I'm Leora," she said in a voice that sounded like wind chimes. "I'm from the planet Orinthia." I stared, wide-eyed, unsure if I was dreaming or if my telescope had finally malfunctioned in spectacular fashion. "I'm Alex," I stammered. "I live here, on Earth." She smiled, and it was like a light turning on in the darkness. "Do you always look at the stars?" "Yeah," I said. "I want to see what's out there. Maybe I'll go to space someday." For reasons I could not explain, I felt at ease with her, as though I had known her all my life. I leaned forward, my childish honesty spilling out. Do you want to play with me?" She tilted her head, considering, then nodded. We spent that afternoon exploring my small yard as if it were a planet of unknown wonders. I showed her my makeshift spaceship models and telescopes. She taught me how to manipulate gravity fields using gestures I didn't fully understand but felt instinctively correct. By the time the sun set, I realized I had made a friend unlike any other. Before she disappeared as suddenly as she had appeared, she whispered something that has stayed with me all my life. "Let's marry when we grow up." I laughed nervously, thinking it was the kind of promise children make, not realizing how deeply it would root itself in my mind. I nodded. "Okay, when we grow up." Then she was gone, leaving only a faint trace of silver light and the lingering feeling that the universe was far bigger and far more alive than I had ever imagined. Years passed. I grew up on Earth, dreaming of space travel, exploring astronomy and astrophysics. But no matter how many stars I charted or planets I studied, a part of me always waited for her. Leora, the alien girl who had promised marriage when we grew up, became a memory suspended between hope and impossibility. Then, one day, 20 years later, everything changed. I was leading a research expedition aboard the Starship Horizon, investigating a newly discovered wormhole at the edge of the Andromeda sector. Our sensors detected a faint energy signature, unusual, irregular, and almost impossibly precise. The readings were unlike anything we had encountered. As we approached, a shuttle appeared through the wormhole, its shape unmistakable, crystalline, elegant, alive. And inside, a figure shimmered in the cockpit. My heart skipped. It couldn't be, but it was. She stepped onto our docking platform, slightly taller now, her presence radiant with the grace and intelligence of her species. "Leora, the alien girl from my childhood." "Alex," she said, her voice carrying through the comms. "You remembered." I barely managed to respond. I never forgot." Her eyes softened, and for a moment, all the science, all the skepticism, all the wonder of the universe condensed into that single recognition. The years melted away. She had returned, true to her promise, but changed, as were we all over time. Integration with her world was not simple. Leora was now a representative of Orinthia, a planet whose technology and culture were far ahead of humanity. Her arrival sparked both awe and suspicion among the crew. She could manipulate energy, communicate telepathically, and understand the universe in ways that made even the most advanced human scientists look like children fumbling with toys. Yet, despite her incredible abilities, she treated me as an equal. She remembered our childhood games, our laughter, and even the promise of marriage we had made. "You always looked at the stars," she said with a teasing tone. "Still dreaming, Alex?" I smiled, a mixture of nostalgia and awe. "Always." The true challenge however, lay not in science or diplomacy, but in the politics of interstellar relations. Orinthia had long been observing Earth, wary of humanity's ambitions and unpredictable behavior. Leora's return was not merely personal, it was a mission, and I was now entangled in it. We traveled together across space, visiting Orinthia, exploring human colonies, and negotiating with alien councils. Throughout it all, our bond grew stronger. She taught me how to manipulate graviton currents, navigate wormholes without risk, and perceive quantum fluctuations with intuition. I taught her human resilience, creativity, and the art of improvisation, the way humans solve problems with ingenuity rather than raw knowledge. It became clear that our relationship was more than childhood nostalgia. It was a union of perspectives, a collaboration of species, and a bond that transcended cultural and biological differences. The turning point came when a hostile alien coalition threatened a neutral planet, Seraphis 7, a world crucial for interstellar trade. Their fleets were superior in firepower, and the Council had few options. Leora proposed a plan, but it required cooperation between human ingenuity and Orinthian technology, a test of trust and teamwork. We led a combined strike team. Orinthian ships maneuvered with precision, while human pilots improvised strategies on the fly. I piloted the Horizon, coordinating between humans and aliens, while Leora directed energy flows to shield our forces. It was a dance of trust, strategy, and courage. During the battle, a critical moment arose. The enemy's flagship was about to deploy a weapon capable of destroying an entire city. Leora could neutralize it using her powers, but doing so would leave her vulnerable to attack. I made a split-second decision. I piloted the Horizon alongside her, using the ship's defenses to create a protective field. Together, we neutralized the threat, saving Seraphis 7 and demonstrating the power of human determination fused with alien capability. After the dust settled, Leora turned to me, her eyes wide with gratitude and something deeper, something that mirrored my own feelings. "You always said we would marry when we grew up," she whispered, brushing her hand against mine. "We've grown, Alex. Are you ready now?" I looked into her eyes, the memory of that promise from childhood mingling with the reality of our shared experiences, dangers survived, and trust earned. "Yes," I said firmly. "I've waited a lifetime for this moment, and I'll wait as long as I must." She smiled, and it was more radiant than any star I had charted. "Then let us begin our future together." The wedding was not traditional by human standards. On Orinthia, unions were celebrated with energy ceremonies, where the bond between two beings is symbolized by interwoven light patterns that resonate with their very life force. Our hands glowed as ribbons of silver and blue light danced around us, reflecting both our memories and our shared dreams. Queen Leora, Leora's mother, observed silently, her expression unreadable. But when the ceremony concluded, she approached me and placed a hand on my shoulder. "You have honored her and earned her trust," she said. "Treat her wisely. She is precious, and you are now part of our world as well as yours. Remember, Alex, strength, respect, and loyalty define a true bond." The reception that followed was a fusion of human celebration and Orinthian spectacle, music created from quantum vibrations, food that changed flavor according to emotion, and dancing on platforms that floated midair. It was unlike anything I could have imagined as a child, standing in my backyard with a silver-skinned girl whispering promises of the future. Years later, as Leora and I explored uncharted sectors of the galaxy together, we often reflected on that fateful promise. "Do you remember when you said we would marry when we grew up?" she would ask with a teasing tone. "I do," I would reply, smiling. I never forgot. And now, every star we visit, every planet we see. I'm glad I waited. We built a life together, bridging human and Orinthian worlds, showing that trust, respect, and courage can unite even the most different of species. Humanity learned from Orinthia, and Orinthia learned from humanity. And amidst interstellar diplomacy, exploration, and adventure, one simple truth endured. Promises made from the heart, even in childhood, can transcend time, distance, and even the stars. And so, from a small backyard on Earth to the far reaches of the Andromeda sector, a childhood promise had blossomed into a bond unbreakable, a love that spanned worlds, and a life that proved humanity, when guided by courage, ingenuity, and empathy, could reach the stars not just with technology, but with heart. In the end, it was not just the alien girl returning that changed everything. It was the choice to honor a promise, to respect and understand across cultures, and to grow together. And that, I realized, is the essence of HFY. Humanity's heart, courage, and capacity for love can thrive even among the stars.